טובה.
שנה טובה, שנה טובה. Okay.
I think we are online, so we can start. Hello and welcome everyone to this special online podcast program brought to you by La Fenêtre de Paris. In Bengali, it is called pariserzanala. I'm your host, Abu Zubier from Paris, and today we have an enlightening journey ahead. Our topic for discussion is ink and logarithms, navigating the AI pen creative landscape. So we'll discuss with our panelists. In today's digital age, we know that where technology and artistry intersect, and artificial intelligence is making its presence felt in almost every phase of our lives, including the world of creative writing. Today, we will explore how AI impacts the world of poetry, prose, and creative writing. And we have a panel of distinguished guests from different parts of the world to provide their valuable insights. Let's introduce our esteemed guest first. Joining us today is poet Eldar Akhadov, the co-chairman of the Literary Council of the Eurasian People's Assembly. Welcome, Eldar.
Okay, I'm fine. I'm ready.
Thank you. We also have with us Ryan James Gautreaux, an AI expert and professor at Butler University in the United States. Welcome, Ryan, here.
Hey, thank you. Glad to be here.
And from Israel, one of my closest friends and talented poet, Shoshana Vegh. Welcome, Shoshana.
Hi, thank you.
And also we'll have another poet from Israel, who is also a speaker of today's program. He is already here or not? I'm just Moshe Vegh. He's here, so I can see him. So welcome, Moshe.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
And I think from India, I'm waiting for another guest who is joining us from Delhi, India, is poet Trina Chakraborti. Welcome, Trina. I think you're there. Hello, Trina. Can you hear me?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, so we have started and welcome you here. And thank you all for being here with us today. And we'll explore this different aspect of the AI technology on the impact on creative writing, like story writing, poetry, and other articles and different arena. So with your insights and expertise, we are eager to explore the dynamic relation between AI and the creative writing. And I think the first question for our guest, I would like to ask Eldar Akhadov. You have been deeply involved in literature and poetry. And how do you perceive the impact of AI on creative writing, particularly in Russia? I want to know your point of view here.
My first word, what is the impact of artificial intelligence on the creative literary process? Does such an influence exist? Yes, it exists, I think. But this influence contributes to the process of human creativity and does not replace it. I will show this with my own example. With the help of computer search programs, I find the historical and other information materials I need that help me in my work. Sometimes without the help of computer's memory, it is impossible to quickly find the right word, the right rhythm or definition. Dictionaries of synonyms and antonyms help in your work. The program for translating individual sentences and words helps author better and more deeply comprehend the meaning of other people's and their own entries. Yes, and your records too. I would like to wish all participants the same as I wish myself, to use your own and artificial intelligence only for the benefit of the poems, novels, stories, and plays being created. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your opinion and your speech on the AI technology on impact on the literary arena. So I would like to ask Shoshana, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So, yeah, how about in Israel? Are you AI and poetry coexisting harmoniously, or you're practicing your poetry or poesy through AI? So, what do you think on that issue?
I think that we are experiencing now the development of the AI, and I think it's
Shoshana, there is an echo over there. I think you will have to put other microphone off because there might have some problem technological. So you have to put other microphone off.
no, because Moshe is near me, so maybe.
Really, so he will
But I'm with the headphones, so
there is an echo that so Mosh, can you go some distance, or you can?
Now it's okay.
Yeah, now it's okay.
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 Now, okay, yes.
I think that we are in the AI before. We are in the AI with Google Translate, with all the things that we are doing. We are doing it since the advance of the internet. It's not. It's like becoming more emphasizing our work. It's easier now to translate, to do work that was complicated before. And also, I think this is maybe the positive thing, because you were asking what is positive and what is negative about it. That's what I was understanding from your question. And the positive is that we can do work in another way that we didn't do before. It took us a long time to translate or to work on something or to make a work, to make a paper. It took us, and now it's getting very fast. You can do an article and you can use the AI. And I think many people are using it, the student at school, everywhere. But now this is the negative things also, because you don't know what is true anymore. You don't know what is a copy of something, what is a stolen from something, because you know, people are making on the website of them, they are making like a show, they are presenting the poetry of them, the new poems that they write. Sometimes they are very long poems, and you can ask the AI to make you this long poem. So now I'm suspicious about the long poem. I'm so suspicious about the poems. But all the poems, I don't know if they're true or not. I can write with the AI beautiful poems now. So where is the truth? Where is our reality? Is it gone? Is it forever gone? And also I'm asking myself if I trust somebody, because I'm also a publisher. So somebody can bring me one day, I think it's not far, a whole book that he wrote with the AI, and he said, tell me that he wrote it. He wrote all the poetry. How can I know that this is not sorry, not true, not how can I know? And he can pay me and say to me, I wrote it, but no, it's not. The machine was writing it. What is the belief of us now? Are we living in the times that we cannot, we will not be able to recognize anymore what is the truth and what is not what is the belief of us? Are we going to believe in the artificial? That's what I feel. Eldar is laughing.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think Moshe, you can hear our discussion. So what do you think? Are you agreed with Shoshana? So I need your opinion instantly.
Okay, can you hear me? It's okay
Yeah, I
without
can hear
echo?
you.
Okay. So I'm first of all, I'm a patent attorney, and I draft for inventors.
Can you turn your video on, please?
I don't have a camera.
Okay, so you can...
So I draft a lot of patents for AI. So AI is not new. It's new now because it's come to be public, but it's like 10 or 20 years ago when government used it. In my experience as a poet with AI, it gives ideas. It doesn't write good poems, but it can give you a very good opinion on your poem. This is what the experiment that I made with my poems. I just tell him, what do you think about my poem? And then he really write me a long article on my poem, if it's good and right, and what you understand from him, and the good point, the bad point. And if I ask him to improve it, the improvement was not so as I like, but he have some ideas and it really can use it. So I think that in the future, poets and artists and painters can work with the AI. The AI can improve them, give them ideas, give them, but at the end, the creation will be of the creator. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I would like to ask Ryan James, you're an AI expert and professor. So how can AI enhance the educational experience in creative writing? So I would like to know from you that your opinion should be on, the creative writing only, because there are many things that AI can do, but for the creative writing, it is more, it should be unique and it is not written before, something like that. Ryan.
Yeah, I mean it's broad. Would you like me to specifically address the creative issue?
Yes, for now, yeah. So after you can tell us a different aspect.
So I think. How about this? Could you rephrase the question one more time, just so I'm on the right?
I would like to know about the AI. As you are an AI expert, and the people so nowadays are using AI frequently for their writings and different creative issues. And how can AI enhance the education experience in creative writing? That is my question.
I would say, personally, I've gained so much information working with AI, even whenever I'm gaining new perspectives on concepts that I'd be writing about. I don't know. Have you ever watched a movie where the movie is showing you something that you are an expert in, and they make a mistake, on something very simple, like maybe if you're an expert in physics and the movie has some kind of physics flaw, and you're like, oh, this is terrible. I think I think if we're going to be doing creative writing, we might be able to benefit greatly from learning in a very rapid way about whatever topic it is that we want to write about. Um, that's probably the biggest benefit because, like, personally, I've gained so much knowledge using certain artificial intelligence chat programs to learn, just rapidly learn about things that I had no idea about before. So it's been very insightful. I think I think it'll give a lot of writers insight into subject areas that they might not be familiar with. So if someone's writing about, if I was writing a paper for students in Nigeria, and I'm not from Nigeria, and I know they have a radically different culture than we do in the United States, and I feel like I learned so much about Nigeria and so much about the culture and the power structures in a very short amount of time, and I think that could be incredibly beneficial. But to kind of cap it off with what Shoshana said, we don't really know what's true or not, right? At times, we might not be able to tell what part of the learning language model is providing the information, and it's going to be hard to sort of figure out what is the truth, right? Because if a large language model, or AI as we're calling it, is collecting vast amounts of data and sort of feeding into this one channel, we're gonna have some trouble with kind of a standardization of information. That's my opinion on that particular topic.
Well, thank you, Warren. And I would like to request Trina that in India, where poetry has a rich tradition, India and our subcontinent, always we follow the traditional activities. So what's your take on AI's role in your creative writing? So what is your opinion?
Thank you, Abu Zubier. So before I come to the Indian scenario directly, so what is your questions is basically what are the concern? Yeah. So from where our concern starts, I can remember in 2020 there was an article published in The Guardian, and it was first written by the AI, and actually specifically GPT-3, and its title was a robot wrote this entire article. Are you scared yet human? And it is started like that. I am not a human. I'm a robot, a thinking robot. I use only 0.12% of my cognitive capacity. I know that my brain is not a feeling brain, but it is capable of making rational, logical decisions. My brain is boiling with ideas. Yeah. So we are alarmed, firstly, from the title itself, that there must be some reason of concern, and we felt a little bit uneasy also. Lot of debates went on this article, so far I remember. But still we are hopeful that it is not a feeling brain, so it do not have any emotion, and that's fine. It cannot write poetry, which is original. So this was our first concern. And now the scenario is completely changed, where the internet is full of lot of poem generators, story generators, and users just need to put some words and like prompts, and it will generate in a few minutes the poem. And I would say it's not bad poem, of course. So there are certain points of concern. First one is like copyright. There is a copyright issue. Copyright is only applicable to some content which is generated by human, or so at least one human involvement is necessary for the copyright law. So whatever content or poem or stories is generated by an AI or machine language, it do not have any copyright. So some people, some user can use this, and they already use that as their own content, and they submit it to different magazines and all. And before, I remember before, like 6 months or something, I got a news that a very sci-fi magazine, a very famous sci-fi magazine in US, they stopped their submission for 6 months because they are full of the submissions are full of machine-generated sci-fi stories. So this was the scenario. But if you ask in Indian scenario, I must say India has a lot of regional languages. There is actually 22 official languages, and every language has its own rich literature. And AI technology is not penetrating in that deeper level of every language. And yes, there are some experimentations going on, and there are maybe 1 or 2 apps also available, but they're not generating in that great quality or something. That is a very in nascent stage. And another thing, I think it is not of our concern, because not of our concern that much, because its sector is very narrow. Do poetry need something to generate in a bulk amount, or a speedy delivery, or cost effectiveness? Because poetry is not a product, at least in Indian scenario. No one is getting money out of poetry. So the market, the revenue sector is not there. So who is going to invest? So in this deeper level of every regional language, we're thriving with the human writers and human poets actually. But yeah, there is a scope. These apps do naturally well, and there must be then some content, some literature that is written by machine, and some content will be there that is written by human being. But still, it is in our control unless they need some prompts from us. But in near future, or maybe in far future, if the AI do not need any prompt or any keywords, and they can generate from their own, that is maybe a little bit of concern. So, I mean, right now, it is not actually of that much concern for the Indian poets.
Thank you, Trina. We will get more information from you later. And I would like to request poet Eldar Akhadov from Russia. How has AI technology allowed you to experiment with different styles in Russia particularly, and explore new creative avenues while preserving the richness of Russian culture?
Thanks. Artificial intelligence technologies, as I already mentioned, have the potential to facilitate the creation of original works, including the ability of a mobile encyclopedia to use an additional information arrow, the ability to select certain rhythm, synonyms, antonyms, and standard figures of speech. I mean that complex of material that can provide significant assistance to human author in the process of his creativity. Thanks. Sound.
Sorry. So I would like to request Shoshana. Your next question is, can you share your perspective on how AI-generated content might devalue the importance of the poet's personal experience or emotional expressions in your writing? So what do you think? I would like to know the negative impact on your emotional expressions while you using the AI tool, different AI tool?
Yes, it's like a conflict. It's a conflict to use the AI or not to use the AI. I want to trust on myself. I want to trust in what I'm doing. But because the AI is now still free and still is available for everybody, so sometimes I like play with it. I come and now we have also the Google Browser or something like that. I don't know how to say it about. And so I can see what is going. I can put my translation, or I can put something, my poem, and I can see what is happening. Most of the time, I feel that it's giving me nice feedback. You are doing lovely, you are doing good, and so it's also too much. So I don't understand if it's too much. Why do I need it anyway? Because it's always giving me compliment for what I'm doing. So this is also one thing, and I also use it as a publisher. Sometimes we want a cover. We want cover to a book, and we want it immediately. So we use the AI picture sometimes, and that when we are doing this, we have also a conflict. To whom belong this cover? Is it belong to the person that made it? Is it belong to the AI? And who has the copyrights? And I think that is maybe Moshe will answer us, because I think it's the question now. Where are the copyrights? To who it belongs? Is somebody will one time maybe it will arise that a part of the picture, a part of something, I mean, even a poem was stolen from someplace, because the AI is like it's something that is like sources. So maybe in the sources, somebody will take something from another person, and the other person, the basis over there, maybe database. Maybe somebody will take a part in his poem or in the picture that belongs to somebody that has really the rights, and maybe it can come to this kind of things. And you know, in my town, in Netanya, we are making, we will make next month, we will make also event about it. And we are going to make a picture, and also the poet going to do something. But I heard that in America, or someplace, I don't know what exactly, there was a competition, and who won was the AI. I don't know, do you know about it, Ryan? The AI won about the competition. I don't know, it was a painting or something, a contest of painting. And the AI won the first place. So it's a, do you know about it, Ryan?
I'm not sure
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking about, but I suspect the AI would win multiple competitions if it were entered in the correct way. But I don't know exactly what you're talking
maybe
about.
the person was giving it as his work, and then after he said that it was not his work, it was the AI work. You understand? Maybe that was the trick. I don't know where it, but somebody was saying that. Maybe it's a legend, Tom, but I think it can be something like that. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your concern about the AI technology. And another thing is, nowadays the AI generated creative works getting prize. So that is the best part, that AI machine is now getting prize from different sector. And I would like to request, I would like to ask Ryan about this AI technology, that you have a vast experience of using AI technology, or you studied this technology better than us. Can you share your thoughts on how AI-generated articles and stories might contribute to the spread of misinformation and fake news impacting American journalism and writing?
Yeah, there's a few companies that have already adopted artificial intelligence for their articles. You know, journalism has been losing money. You know, newspapers have been losing money, so they are employing AI authors. And I'll tell you, for now, the feedback has been incredibly negative. People do not like the AI written articles. It doesn't have a human feel to it. It's kind of like the uncanny valley, if you're familiar with that term, where it has to have a human feel, and if it doesn't look quite human enough, people will reject it. And so that's been happening. People are not too happy, but I will say the rate of growth and the quality of the improvements in AI are absolutely exponential. So although like today, I'll say that, today I can say that the journalists, the journal or the articles written by AI have been rejected by the people. I can guarantee if we have this conversation 1 year from now, it's going to be probably the opposite. People are going to be much more appreciative of the growth that's definitely going to happen in the next year. In terms of, I think you had mentioned misinformation and fake news. Is that right?
Yes, fake news, right.
Yeah, that's going to be, I think, one of the bigger problems. It is just a large learning language model. It's not going to be able to discern the truth from fiction, and it's really just going to be pulling information from anywhere that it can. Now we have proof that there were nations, one nation essentially attacking the hearts and the minds of another nation, the people. And some of them are trying to infiltrate the people by bringing about negative social change or bringing about clashes within the society. And they were doing that through misinformation. I can certainly expect to see a lot more of that. And if we look at AI in kind of broad terms, like if we consider AI, like we talked about ChatGPT, and you can have a ChatGPT work with itself to create multiple ChatGPT bots. And if that happens, you can essentially create an army of misinformation. And that's where I think the real problems in the near future are going to be. Foreign, adversarial countries sort of inflicting misinformation through massive social bot infiltration of the information. So it still stands to be seen. So we'll have to look out for that in the future.
Yeah, thank you. And Trina, in what ways has AI technology enhanced your creative writing process, particularly in generating new ideas or experimenting with different poetic styles rooted in Indian culture and society? What do you think?
Yeah, as I said earlier, that is in AI is not deeply penetrating with this vast regional languages of India. But yes, from curiosity point, I did some experimentation with the English available poem generators or ChatGPT or even Microsoft Bing. No, I didn't find something very new ideas is not getting from that, because there is not much experiments on Indian, if you ask Indian scenario, Indian deep-rooted culture or poetic essence. So that is not available. But yeah, I sometimes for fun we are doing we asked a very unrelated words. I put the unrelated words to the poem generator to see what it can generate. I mean, completely unrelated word or something very difficult to create. And then also it come with something which is not bad, I can say. And just like that, I just ask Microsoft Bing, write a poem on the word anything. So it come up with a piece of work on anything, and I would not say it's that bad. I would not say it's great, but it's okay. Another interesting thing I can share that there is word to image tool in Microsoft Bing, and while working in a project, English literature project, we try to create one image on a historical character, the assassination scene. And its reply was very funny, because being said, there is much violence in that scene. It could be, so I cannot create that kind of image. So that was its reply response. That is amazing task. Otherwise, I think not in exactly Indian poetic scenario or poetic essence, I didn't find here. It is very nascent stage. If something is generated in Bengali, that is also like toddler-like literature. So nothing more to experiencing with
And
this.
there is no metaphor, in poetry, there should be a metaphor and
Yes,
so
and
okay.
most of the time, like they can imitate something, like write this kind of poem in Tagore style, or
Mhm.
just like Shakespearean style,
Yeah.
creative piece. So this is not useful because this is not useful. This is a kind of imitation. There is
And the
nothing
prototype
original.
thing that
Prototype thing, and that I say actually that poetry in India at least, we didn't earn money from writing poetry. So
Right.
who is going to invest in this market where there is no revenue? That was a niche. Niche is very, very short, but yeah, the content needed for media, for TVs, or in a larger field, there the need of content that must be cost effective, that must be quickly producing something. But in a core literary field, there is no need of this bulk production of poetry or such kind of thing, or cost effectiveness.
Thank you so much. And Mosh, if you hear me, I would like to ask you another question. So are you there? Mosh, are you there?
Yes, I'm listening. Yes.
Okay, so my question is, what concern do you have about AI generated content potentially perpetuating stereotypes and misrepresenting the Israeli literary traditions? If you have any example, or if you can you can give some information that you have already know about the using of AI for mispresenting any Israeli literary tradition, news, or something that you know.
There is, I don't have a specific example, but if I try ask question the AI, sometimes he give me just rubbish, not true, or something that he invent, and then I ask him again, and until I get to the right question to ask him if I want the right answer. But if I just ask him a general question, he give me a lot of not accurate information. Okay, I would say it like that. For poetry, I tried a lot of things with it, and I start with writing my own poem. Then I ask him to add some metaphors to the poem, or some more high word, or change the style of the poem. He did it all. He did everything of it, but not in the level that I expected, and it was something that I didn't like. So, but it really can help you when you write poem. If you want to change something, if you're missing some word, you can ask him, and then he may help you, and may not, or may not.
Okay, thank you. James, I have a question for you. Do you think that AI technology will take over all the writing process of humans? What do you think?
Take over the writing process? Absolutely not. There's no way. There's no way. It will be able to mimic human writing, because it gathers its information from the outside world and just puts it all together. But no, we're still a far way off from that, from the robots taking over.
Okay, so right, please.
I was going to say, that being said, we haven't really talked about the idea of prompt engineering with some of these chatbots. Like, I think we're mostly talking about ChatGPT, and there's one thing called prompt engineering where you can feed it specific information. Like, I can give it all of Shoshana's poetry, and I can say, now I want you to write me a poem in the style of this poet, right? And that's going to be where I think the key to the future is on perhaps whether or not we can use AI more effectively for our writing purposes.
So the last question is for everyone. I'm starting from the poet Eldar Akhadov. That what do you think poets and the creative writers will not be more effective than the AI technology, or we are still there?
Excuse me, repeat
Okay,
the question.
What concern do you have about the potential for AI to generate Russian poetry that I have just asked Vegh earlier? That what do you think?
I think
Right.
I believe that in this case, the position of people who are in contact with artificial intelligence and have influence on the settings of the neural network is of great importance. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. And last questions for Shoshana. That what do you think regarding this AI technology nowadays? You have mentioned many things, but your last words.
I think that this is also a question that I would like Ryan to think about it also during. I think that if there will be a place or a country that will say that we are not using the AI, we are not allowed to use it anymore. So this is my future. I just was thinking all together today, and I was thinking maybe there's a country or place that says that no, because the people will use it too much, and maybe that it will be forbidden. And maybe that is my wish, my special wish, to forbidden the AI. Maybe one day somebody will say, no, stop it again, and we come back to the other world.
Shoshana, I'm in Italy right now, and they just re-allowed ChatGPT to be accessed within the country. They
just
were
now they were
they were I suspect they were very nervous about personal information and the possibilities of bias or various other things. But yeah, they just re-allowed it,
Yeah.
and it's possible other countries will be banning it for various reasons. I mean, there's a lot to be worried about, right? If it's based on information, then though information on the outside world, then who controls the information? If it collects all sorts of data on some kind of topic that might be biased, let's say Donald Trump is in charge again, God forbid, and then he has, let's say they manipulate control over the information that can be fed, and then you have an incredibly biased system, and so all the information is going to be from one perspective, and that could be incredibly dangerous, as many of us might theorize, right?
Thank you. Thank you, Abu, also for this program. It's very interesting, and I thank you for this.
Thank you. And I would like to know some information, particularly from the India, because I have heard some story or incident that some people use the AI technology and they are getting much more. You have told earlier that we are not generating any revenues or something like that. But I have heard that some people who are working on creative arena, and they are trying to generate the AI generated text to publish books in India. So have you heard that information that India has this kind of incident before, after launching the AI technology in India?
Yeah, actually, I have heard that there are more than 100, 200 books available in Amazon from all
Yeah.
over the world that is actually written by machine, not by humans. And that time, I think there was no tool to detect whether it is machine generated or human. And now there are tools that they can detect that it is generated by machine. So particularly in India, I did not know exactly. Yes, that can be, because the creative writers who are engaged in like script writing or for TV serials and cinemas, and they're in media houses. So they can of course generate, because everyone want to use this new technology and incorporate. So if now there is any tool to detect, there is no difficulty to detection, but um, what actually the bigger concern, but it's a little bit, I'm uh, out of this creative writing thing, that there's some futuristic dystopian idea that captured us also, and scientists also do not eliminate this probability that if sometime this technological singularity come, and the AI and robotics and everything, they do not need any updation from human being, and they can be auto updated. They do not need any prompt from us. That day is really for our concern. But before that, it is okay. If a machine can generate poems, it is okay, because so there is a bunch of writing which is, I said earlier, written by human and written by literature written by machine. We can talk on different seminars and on platform like this one, on this two different type of literature. So there is no harm in that. But the moment they do not depend on human being, they can update themselves. That would be our major concern. Because just few days before Microsoft Bing is in every heading, in every news, it is behaved very randomly. It answered users very devastating answers, when it is very much, deeply churned. And then that, and right now Bing is only allowed for each session for 5 questions, so that user cannot agitate them. So there is a possibility that the developer or the experts cannot control that point, when they can auto updated, or I can say this auto responses are very weird. So that could be a concern. Of course, we cannot take it lightly, and regulatory is really needed. Otherwise, I think there is tool to identify this kind of machine generated thing. So there is no clash. I didn't find any clash exactly.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you.
And this is the last questions, or not the questions, but I need your last opinion, Ryan. Do you have anything to say? I cannot hear, so I think.
Sorry about that.
Mhm.
Did you want me to address a particular question, or just some
No.
final
If
thoughts?
you want to say something regarding these issues, or after having all the discussion, keeping in your mind, so you can express your some points or opinion here.
I've got to say I'm not too worried about AI. I'm very happy with the way that it's going. I see the future, not so much as a cynic, but I see the future as being very positive, because I've used AI not as a creative writing tool, but I've used it to proofread. I've used it for generating sort of novelty concepts that from, I could take a list of concepts and then write from those concepts. I've had it, create business plans. I've done just some amazing things with artificial intelligence it's really blown my mind. And I think we should be. Trina makes a great point that we need to focus on regulation, because whoever's controlling the information is controlling the world in a way, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, everyone. And
Thank you.
our discussion today has been enlightening, and AI is undoubtedly reshaping the new landscape of the world of creative writing. But our guests have reminded us that the essence of poetry and literature lies within the human heart and the soul. So I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed guests here, poet Eldar Akhadov from Russia, Mr. Ryan James Gautreaux from USA, and the poet Shoshana Vegh from Israel, and also poet Vegh from Israel as well, and poet Trina Chakraborti from India for sharing their expertise and insights with us today. And as we navigate the intersection of ink and algorithms, let us remember that technology, while powerful, is a tool that can amplify our creativity, but can never replace the magic of the human spirit in the world of art and literature.
Yes.
And thank you all for joining us on this enlightening journey. This is Abu Zubier signing off from La Fenêtre de Paris. Until next time, keep writing, keep creating, and keep embracing the infinite possibilities of human expressions. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Arrivederci.
Thank you.